Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. How the heck are you doing? It's your old pal Dustin back from beautiful sunny Texas with my compatriot, the other half of my brain, Bo Van Buren. Bo, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. Glad that you made it back safely.
Finally.
Yeah, heard about some layovers and some not so nice
Yeah.
things happening.
You know, it beats the first time that I had some layovers at BNA in Nashville. The first time was 13 hours due to a rotten fish in the cargo hold of a plane. Kept me from getting to my final destination. Last night, the plane would just taking its time getting there from Colorado. So, you know what? I made it home, got to sleep in my own bed last night, and I got to tell you, I am exhausted but exhilarated. That was an excellent symposium, the Drone and Robotics Symposium in Houston, Texas. Got to meet some incredible folks, learned a ton. Myself and Josh got to experience it, and man, really good,
Yeah,
really good.
I've been to the show twice, I
Uh-huh.
believe. But we did it booth style.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all's was a little different this time from
A little more guerrilla. Like we were there with the intention more to learn. Like we went to ask questions, get people who are in the industry, boots on the ground about energy, utilities, what they need, and more importantly, how they need it, and then how we fit in to it. It was a really good experience. Everybody was open and honest, and I think they feel a lot like how we do, where every day it feels like there's something new. Got to see a lot of faces that we know. Got to meet a lot of new faces, people that we don't know. So I'm excited to get into it here in a little bit and kind of
Mhm.
go over what we found and kind of the direction that we can see a path for. We've also got a lot of really good stuff in the news this week. There's some interesting information that just dropped, so that's going to be fun.
And drones doing things.
Drones doing things, and then over here at Zephyr, some fun updates for us. Updates to the website if you haven't experienced that yet. Some things we can point out for you, and more than anything, just glad to be here to talk to our viewers. We have officially hit 300 subscribers.
Yeah, boy.
We did it, the 300, the gates of Thermopylae. But we want to let the hordes in. We're the opposite. We've got the doors wide open. Share it with your friends. Make sure that you click that thumbs up button. Clicking the heart by the chat thing doesn't really do anything. It's fun. You can do it as many times as you want, but the thumbs up helps us show up in the algorithm more. Sharing it definitely helps. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'd love to have you be a part of this whole thing that we get the
journey.
privilege and honor of doing. Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
I mean, this is stream number 34. Like that's pretty awesome. Coming up on a year's worth of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, we've had to take a break here
No,
and there.
it's been full steam.
Full steam all the time. Speaking of which, go ahead and put that out early. Next Thursday's stream will be a little touch and go. I'm trying to move across town, still in Boston, but headed to the Chelsea area.
Yeah, so we might take a break for one stream so that he can get situated. Just depends on like how motivated he is.
And internet. We gotta have the internets. That helps a whole bunch. Internet makes the things go round. Outside of that, Bo, what else is new with you?
Just got a new potential transmitter in for another deal that we're dealing with. Not sure how well it's working yet. Stu is hopeful, so we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's good. Something new happening. I forgot to let the guys at work know that we're streaming, so now they do. All right, let me get this pulled back up here, and let's move into the news. You ready to go to the news?
Oh yeah, always ready for some news.
All right.
News.
Something I do want to touch on internationally, pretty awesome. This was given to me by our CEO, Kyle, who's amazing. This is SUAS News coming to us out of Ireland, where they're seeing one of their essentially there's a lot of commentary around MANA, MANNA, regarding that they're ceasing operations in Ireland in favor of operational growth overseas. That's something we see here in the US quite a bit. Companies that find success and then they find either cheaper labor or um, better taxes elsewhere, that they have their reasons. You hate to see it happen. But I do feel that I agree with some of the comments surrounding this, that just because this one company is leaving, there are so many new ones that are cropping up. Drone Professionals Ireland, DPI, um, they're kind of building off this cornerstone that every aspect of our lives is being touched by the drone industry. Like, never again will we see power lines being rung up just by linemen. They'll probably start incorporating drones more and more as we go, something that we saw a lot of at that show in Houston. Um, whether it's for parking services or wind farms or power lines, pylons, substations, tanks and tank inspections. So it directly ties into what we were just able to witness from all these different booths and providers and people just walking the show floor, that there's kind of this consensus. Everything from modern farming to engineering, piloting, and safety. We will never not see drones being used to reduce things like emissions and increase worker safety, infrastructure maintenance, and then just overall increase in productivity. So, though there was a negative, I do love that Irish Aviation Authority, AirNav Ireland, some of these departments of transportation are looking at this in a very positive light.
Well, I mean, it's a power vacuum, you know.
It is. You're absolutely right. It is a power vacuum. So, oh hey, Alex, welcome in. I think you're onto something there. You know, it's still so new that seeing these big players come out is it's kind of neat to see. It is a developing industry.
Yeah.
Like, we're on the front, on the bleeding edge. And to be a part of that, and really to kind of be an authority and elder statesman in that space, like Zephyr and Little Arms, is it's a privilege to be here.
We've been here for a lot longer than some other folks can say.
That's true.
So I do kind of get what you're saying on it. I we had talked about it a little bit this morning, but I think that, we should be using our voice more. Like, I know that we're, working on it, but it's something that is exciting to see.
Yeah, definitely. Today was this past 2 days, it all feels like it's run together for me, but it did feel a step in that direction where we're taking the stage with some of these folks that have been quite vocal previously, and now we're able to also enter that space and really utilize our trust within the industry to continue to build out the simulator to make it as advantageous as possible for people, like in-case users.
Yep.
So this is everywhere. I actually pulled it from 3 different news sources, but the FCC has updated their guidelines for drone access approval in the US. This whole DJI blockade has been the talk of the town since, I mean, even before May 18th, when the first, it actually came down and was listed out as these drones are not allowed because of security risks. I pulled one from Drone Life from Miriam McNabb.
We covered the original story in February, I think.
We did. That's when it first started getting making some wakes. But yeah, Drone Life's Miriam McNabb, drone or UAV coach Zach Dukowitz, who we quote quite often, and Ishvina Singh, I think, has my favorite tagline on this. But we'll start with Drone Life. So they have updated the list. The FCC officially updated the list that they brought forward and Sci-Fly Aviation, Mobilicom, Scout DI, and Verge Aero.
Sci-Fly?
Sci-Fly.
Okay.
Yeah, their Q-12 drone system. Now, something that was identified later on in the article is that most of these are very much hobbyist and burgeoning on toy drones.
Oh, interesting.
So they're making space for those with some temporary conditional approvals, and they're only approved through December 31st of 2026. So it is a trial basis, I guess, more than anything, and then they can request to have these extended and expanded.
Interesting.
This is what I think they're doing, reading between the lines, is opening up conditional approval pathways so that they can gatekeep who's in and who's out. So yeah, programs, the blue UAS, the green UAS have already become like these important reference points for people, especially bigger industry players that have hundreds of drones, hundreds of pilots, that they're trying to make sure that they get drones in their hands and not break the bank. One hand washing. Hey, SDIEDU. What's up, guys? It was so nice to have you there at that show. You were our anchor point that we could come by and have a place to find respite with James and Christian. It was great to see you guys as always. So big shout out to SDI.
Oh yeah, always good shout outs to SDI.
Absolutely. But yeah, welcome in, guys.
Thanks all around good people. By. If you haven't seen the episode that we did with them, it's in there.
Oh yeah, definitely
go back through the lives. Good information there.
In fact, need to have them back on. There's been so many updates and fun things in the industry to talk about, and these guys know everything of what they're doing inside and out.
If James has gotten his ghost sorted out, yeah, sure,
true, yeah. You know, Snooki has a new ghost hunting show.
I'm not with that right now.
Of Jersey Shore
fame. I know who Snooki is.
So we need to get Snooki.
I've seen every episode of Jersey Shore against my will.
I think we all have.
But yeah.
But so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. It was great getting to hang out as always. But I think we're gonna try and petition Snooki to come to James's house and
to ghost hunt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To get rid of Jebediah.
Yeah. I think we're onto something here, and we can have drones.
Yeah.
We can have drones, film it, be a part of it. We have thermal. We can look for cold spots. I think we're onto something here. But back to the news story. So we see conditional pathways opening up, and that was Drone Life's tagline was updates the covered list, introduces the first conditional approvals. Looking at UAV Coach, it's much more industry forward. Here's how the process is working. That ACSL, XAG, Anzu Robotics, Grimsy, and Hextronics. So they've actually gotten a little bit deeper on their list and looking at like the manufacturers and where they come from.
Anzu, I thought Anzu was a Japanese company.
They may be. And I think they're looking at strictly foreign companies, not just China. I think that's the big differentiator that we're seeing from what UAV Coach was able to report on about how they can work around the ban.
They're actually headquartered in Austin, Texas. They launched the Raptor and the Raptor T Enterprise.
Okay.
It utilizes a licensing agreement to adapt hardware similar to the DJI Mavic 3, but operates them with US-developed software from Aloft Technologies.
See, there's just so many players in this game, and there's a lot of international cooperation on these to just blanket stop stuff like DJI and Autel and some of these other foreign companies doesn't make sense, especially that now that we've had independent third-party US-based with military experience go in and audit.
Oh, so ACSL is the Japanese industrial drone manufacturer.
Ah, I see. Yeah, there's actually a pretty full list now that's been conditionally approved. Blue Flight, Sci-Fly again, like I said before, Verge, um, Alterion, Wingtra. So there's a few. Oh,
Yeah.
and a Zephyr that's misspelled. Huh.
Zephyr.
Zephager Flight Labs. Interesting. I
Zephyr.
watched it out of
Zephyr.
my own accord.
Zephyr.
Zephyr? But anyway, good reporting there from UAV Coach, digging a little deeper into it, finding us a little bit more like good solid information there.
You got it.
But I got to tell you, when it comes to taglines, DJ or drone DJ, Ishvina saying, who I think is just, I love how they write. FCC says some Chinese drones are suddenly safe again. That's it. That's the tagline.
That's
because
just,
I agree.
What is that? Just the title? That's crazy.
That's the That's the bylaw. That's the line. That's the tagline.
That's wild.
It is wild, and they're kind of the ones that identified it more as like, oh, these toy drones are the ones. So this sight distances of 100 meters or less, little to no network connectivity capabilities. Few of them have cameras.
Suddenly safe again. Crazy.
Suddenly safe again. I love that because I think that's the meat of the matter. If you're going to cherry pick, what goes where and why and how, but you had listed them all as bad before, what changed? That's just it. What changed within the industry?
Nothing.
Well, probably a little bit of that.
A little green.
A little green, I imagine, probably had something to do with that. Okay. Couple last things that I want to get to. This one I thought was really cool. There is a new belt-worn drone detector on the market. The Zing Drone Solutions have a Z-Scan Mini. It's $1,000.
A belt.
But essentially, it's an always-on drone detector, unlike some of the ones that we've seen where it is app-based on your phone.
Right.
But if the app's not open or on your phone screen, then it's not really checking the airspace. Whereas this one scans both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth remote ID broadcasts and detects a broader range of compliant drones and identifies situations where expected broadcasts can be missing. So that's actually kind of cool to see something on the consumer market that is going to be probably widely used moving forward.
I can't hear it without thinking about the 60s Batman.
Oh, sure. Some Adam West.
Yeah, so it's just like, my bat drone detector.
The bat drone detector. I love it. That's accurate.
I need my shark repellent.
What was the one with the flies where the flies would like make people sick and he had like fly attractant on him? Just not?
And then he the flies that would kill you if they bit you. You die instantly.
You die instantly.
And one of them lands on Robin's nose. And he gets them with the bat tweezers.
The bat tweezers. That's what it was.
Shit kills me. Another one is my favorite line, and I say it all the time, is some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
That's true. I mean, fair point there, Adam West. Yes, Stu, the bat belt, also widely known as the utility belt.
I use that in Destiny all the time. I'll be running with something and be like, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Incredible. We need to bring that back. That's a whimsical kind of like look at technology, and I think having that in your heart.
Bring out the bat dehydrator. It's just. I
think the bat drone will be a thing soon enough.
Oh, it'll be. I guarantee it's already happened. It's got to have.
Probably.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up while you're talking about the next thing. See if a bat drone is a thing yet.
Deal. I won't touch much on this. The stuff coming out of Brink and Nova's public safety mapping partnership. I think it's interesting, but I think it's still a developing story on how they're mapping things out and using it for public safety, search and rescue, things of that nature. It does tie directly into what we do. I think there were some other companies working on this, but I think Brink kind of won that strategy, just by being a U.S. company that's available to do it. But I do think it's going to be wildly successful and incredibly helpful for first responders on essentially how they approach areas of surge and how they control their data. So can't really complain about that one too much. The last thing, though, and this will kind of lead us into our next conversation. This is our segue piece. Drone Life from Jim McGill. Utilities companies preparing for the BVLOS stuff, Part 108, while navigating the post-DJI transition. Again, looking at how they get from point A to point B with some of these new restrictions and how much it's going to cost. But for those that don't know about BVLOS, it doesn't help us because of the problem with the data management. We're taking so much imagery here that if you don't have line of sight, then that's what we need training on. Is that if you don't have sight on your drone itself, what are we relying on and how it maps things? Because some of these drones are going a flight of like 20 miles at terabytes of information. There's no way that you can have the pilot. In some cases, you'll need a spotter, which is something that Mike Hill talked about, which I'll talk more about him in a moment. But that came up about having spotters, people with situational awareness in your operations team. But there's a lot of interesting things that are developing here with Part 108 and BVLOS that we heard a lot of people talking about that at the show.
Oh yeah, BVLOS is going to be the next, or I mean, it's not going to be the next. It is the next big thing in the drone space. That and partnered with the Part 108.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we briefly discussed the other day. Before we get too far away from it, there is a bat drone.
There is a bat drone.
Yes, it's actually one of the very first things that it's from the 2022 Batman film. And it's the first time that he's moved away from the bat and then random technology naming convention. He calls them vampires. They track targets and stun them with electrical charges.
Okay. Much like a vampire bat does.
I still call it the bat drone, but
it's bat drone.
I'm old school, I guess. There's also a company that released a micro Batwing drone. It is a small stunt quadcopter shaped like the Batwing.
Oh, that's cool.
With an HD camera.
Like the 1980s Batwing?
It just says the Batwing.
I love it. I'm in. That's what I want for Christmas. For all of our viewers out there. now you know what to give me.
Sorry, I know we get distracted sometimes on this show, but
I think it's useful though.
You gotta have a bat drone, okay?
You've got to have the bat drone.
And I refuse to call them vampires. It's a bat drone.
Hashtag bat drone forever.
Anyway.
Okay, so getting into the show, let's get into the meat of it. So myself and Josh went to Houston this week. We landed on Tuesday. Walked the show floor, gave a brief demo and Q&A, and then Wednesday, much the same, did our speaking engagement first on the innovation stage, and then walked the show floor for a little bit longer, shored up some contacts there, and then left. So it was a mad dash of a trip. It was well worth the time. It's not a huge show, but you talk about well-ran, well-attended, and gathering some really good information from industry professionals. Like I can't thank those guys enough.
Oh, they're super easy to work with. Shout out to Julian DuPont.
Julian DuPont, what a hero.
Oh, he's absolute. He's a real one.
And giving us the space to get up and speak. At the
Sean too. Before Sean Gare, also really good.
Sean Gare. Yep. I agree. And what was really cool to see was some of these other groups that also do their event coordination and like manage these. Got to see Dominique from CUAV there. Big shout out to Dominique. Congratulations on your winnings, by the way, from one of the drawings. got to
Rigged.
connect with Dominique.
Sorry.
What's that?
I said rigged.
Rigged. Definitely not. I will say this much though. He did a good job because he stood there and read business cards one after another. Good group of folks at, I can tell you exactly who it was. CS Tech. Getting to talk to Rodney. So they do some really cool stuff there as far as mapping goes. He's the one who told me about that new drone tech that's coming out with can be used in agriculture and in utilities for vegetation management, where the drone is able. Well, essentially, yeah. Let's take kudzu. That's a great example because I think, especially those of us with some Southern history, it's the weed that ate the South. It's all over the place, hard to kill. If you've ever been driving down, like let's say Interstate 40, and you see those just massive sprawling vines of rich green vegetation that go up energy poles and buildings and everything in between, that's kudzu. It is an invasive species.
Well, we got that. We got that and Virginia creeper. So.
And Virginia creeper, that's true. But kudzu specifically, because I know how damaging it can be to livestock. Like it's not one of those things where you can go in and spray it. You essentially have to burn it out and salt the earth.
You either burn it out in salt or you goat it.
Yep. Goats are about the only things that can kill. They don't actually kill cows.
That's because goats get it down at the root.
Yes, they do. They eat it all the way down. Like a real goat. So being able to identify this vegetation and then using drone technology to go through and literally zap it with a laser, burn it out at the root.
That's nuts.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be real. Like, I think that's brilliant. I think it would save a lot of people time, money. Reducing pesticides is always a great thing.
Yep.
Knowing how harmful those pesticides can be, especially to...
Here's hoping that the almond industry picks it up.
Yeah, that's true. That would be nice.
I really am not a fan.
Oh no, we've talked about that a lot. We've talked about that on stream. Like, save the honeybees. Like,
oh yeah,
come on. Like,
bees are important, man. You get rid of if the bees go. Not only will we mostly follow suit, but the coffee's going to go first, and nobody needs to deal with me without that.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be unbearable.
I don't have to deal with me, so you know.
Josh got to see that firsthand on Wednesday morning before I've had my coffee. I'm not a human.
Yep.
But being able to identify vegetation and go out and do precision zapping to eliminate it is brilliant. Like, when I first heard about drones being used for vegetation management in just crop growth and using payload systems like what we're developing with NIST and drone responders to have flow rates, how that affects the drag on a drone carrying liquid, slosh, things like that. To me, that was just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And then to see it's already taken a leap in another technologically advanced direction is crazy work.
Well, I mean, it's like we keep saying, it's like anytime that you think you got your hand on the pulse of, or finger on the pulse of the drone market, 50 new things have come out. It's, it's like
exactly right.
It's crazy. And it's like, even, looking at just how the space is evolving, like it goes, we talked about it before, there's hundreds of industries that are utilizing these things. And it's like
more daily,
it's like when they're having us do the STEM camp again this year with George Hinckley over at Smart Community STEM over in Orange County, or I think most of the kids come from Orange here in Virginia into Fredericksburg. But like, we always tell them, it's just like, there are so many things you can use these things for. And like, the shows, or not the show, the show. The summer camp is largely, there's a lot of like cops and like military folks that come through and talk to the kids, because it's, it's close. It's juxtaposition to Northern Virginia and like DOD offices and stuff like that.
Of course.
It is what it is, and George himself is a former Marine, so
Great guy.
but you can't say
really like George.
You never get rid of the Marine, so I can't really say former. He's a retired.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
He's a retired Marine. Great dude. But yeah, like some of the kids come through there and like just trying to illustrate to them like how many different fields you can go through there. We've had Ime and you know, him. We've had Ime come down and talk to him. We've had you know, people from all different walks of the drone industry come to this place and talk to these kids about how great it is and like all the things you can do with them. So cinematography all the way up to
for sure.
Like, you can do pretty much anything with them. It's pretty wild.
Honestly, it'd be nice to be able to get Conwar to come.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I want
great.
to get him on here as well because he actually came up in a couple conversations about his new book, which for those that don't know, I'm in the process of packing to move. So I've already packed his book safely away. But his new book, we covered it a couple streams ago. Highly recommend reading it. There we go. Recalculating Life When GPS Goes Dark. This came up because there's a lot of folks that were at the Energy and Drone Symposium about spoofing, network spoofing, and how that has become an issue.
Hate the meaning.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. But to your point, Bo, you're absolutely on track. I got the pleasure of meeting and speaking with Michael Hill. He's at Uncrewed Aerospace. He's their founder and really good guy. Actually got to meet his daughter also, who is coming up in the drone industry. They're based out of Texas. I believe they have facility there in Houston and one in Dallas. But he gave an incredible presentation on more or less beyond the certification. Like certification's great. Your piece of paper's fantastic. Well done on your NIST and your Part 107. Now what? And essentially it is becoming a tool in the industry. How do you do that? What do you do?
Yep.
Getting out and flying, becoming proficient and picking a direction and working at it and becoming the authority on that. Like there is no set standard. There is no practice. There's a lot of school that's out there. There's plenty of curriculum to absorb. And more, a lot of this job specific training is being added into curriculum. But someone asked him in the audience, you know, how did you find yourself in this position? And what he said was really cool. He was a former Microsoft exec, and he's one of those Fortis Fortuna audio vibe, which is near and dear to my heart, which is fortune favors the bold. Go out and try. And if you fail, but you learn and you move on. And where he has found a lot of success is in a lot of security by building up SOPs and operational awareness to flesh out programs. Like his group is doing all the drone coverage and security for FIFA there in Houston and in Dallas. Yep. And he said, like, every one of these is like the Super Bowl. Like every time a match is played, it is a Super Bowl in and of itself. And there's tons of these matches going on, which if you're not following the World Cup, I have been, because the Tartan Army descended upon Boston, and I am quite a bit Scottish. I've got my Moorhead signet, and I've gotten to meet a lot of these folks, and just their energy is so contagious that it has sucked me in. I'm now a Scotland football fan. So that being said, having that operational awareness and being able to apply that out in the world instantly makes you the authority in this day and age, because like what Bo said earlier, it's kind of a power vacuum. And then I asked him, like, so certifications are great. What kind of training would you recommend implementing into your program to become more proficient? And he looked down and he saw my hat and he goes, Zephyr, I love you guys. And when I tell you, my heart sank. He's talking to a group. He's talking to the entire show floor, but the group in front of us, 50 or 60 people, he waxed poetic about how much he appreciates our drone training program, the people that he works in within that, and what it has done to change his business. And when I when I say I cannot say thank you enough to Mike for shouting us out and talking about us for a solid 10 minutes about how that kind of training makes for such a proficient pilot beyond just the practical adaptation. It just made my heart sing. It was one of the greatest things I could have heard.
Yep.
So thank you, Michael, for saying all that. That was really cool to see. But he's right. Like, not to be braggadocious, but the training doesn't stop at buying the drone, taking the test, and learning how to fly.
Yep.
It's putting yourself in places where you do need situational awareness, where you do need task-driven performance, and then being able to track your performance within those tasks. That's exactly what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Our learning management system came up more than once. Also, our dear friends at Air Data, huge shout out to Catherine, Jody, and Josh for hanging out with us and talking. Like, we have an integration with Air Data that aggregates your flight data from real flight and drone flight. And also, Air Data, far more robust than I ever thought. I actually had them walk me through their program and how that looks. And their growth within energy and utility and public safety is really something to be admired and mirrored, which is something that I want to do. They're on the right path. They're a great industry partner. And if you're a group that's not already utilizing them, cannot recommend them enough. They are fantastic. Same thing with things like curriculum. You know, we're talking to some different groups. We've already got a portal to UAV Coach to utilize their curriculum. They're a great group of people. Love working with them as well. So, you know, if you need those resources, we have those for you. But for our part, just reach out. We will happily guide you to those. Beyond that, though, being at the show, it wasn't just us demoing what we do. That was a very brief footnote, just so that I could educate them on who we are. The biggest part of it was the Q&A, asking these people within gas, electricity, utilities, power line, what do you need from us? And where do we fit in to your program? Is it directly with you? Is it with training opportunities with things like lineman schools or different groups like unions? Or is it, you know, straight direct to end user? And we had some really good Q&A. I want to give a quick shout out to the guys at Exxon. They had some great information for us. Tim, he was a font of information. Did you know that when inspecting things like the flute or the flare that comes up out of these gas lines, they're so hot that a drone flying within 35 feet of them will melt? And beyond that, being able to have situational awareness with hydrocarbon flow out of these, keeping the drone out of that airspace and airway and keeping the drone pilot safe as well, is like the number one rule of thumb when working on these gas lines.
And we wouldn't know. It's impossible for us to know that as, like, you know.
Exactly.
Like,
you're exactly right.
I did know that, like, the only time I've ever heard of a drone melting was there was a fella trying to capture part of like a pyroclastic flow from a volcano. So like he flew his drone too close and the props melted and then the drone hit the lava.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. I understand. Like that kind of information is so critical in how we build our sim. And we'll be the first to tell you, we don't know everything, but that's why we do these things. That's why we ask these questions and come with our hat in our hands and say, like, look, we need your help. Every time we get great feedback on our sim, we're small and versatile enough, we can add that in to make our simulator as lifelike as possible. Otherwise, it's doing you no good. Yep. And we take a lot of pride in how we curate that experience. And getting this feedback from these guys like Tim, like the guys at PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, talking to the guys at Shell Corporation, understanding that when they're looking at temperature differences on tanks, holding tanks for gas, it is a pretty tight tolerance for what you're looking for to look for a leak. Now that we have thermography built into our simulator, being able to port that over into this kind of inspection,
yep,
incredible. Like, we are so excited to be able to have these offerings as we start to build this out throughout the year, because we're very strategic in how we do our updates and add these things in. Um, yeah, it was just incredible. And again, huge shout out to Lee at Linebird. I'm so excited to get to work with you guys. Thank you so much for helping to make these introductions and welcome us into your space.
Yeah, for sure.
With open arms. It is really a cool thing to see community being built. That's what I love.
It's funny because like in the call that we had with him, he gave me so much crap about not coming out to Energy Drone, and I'm like, I'll catch you in Vegas. It'll be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to touch base with a lot of these guys at CUAV in Vegas. If you're going to be in Vegas, I believe it's the first week of September.
September 1st to the 4th, I want to say. Or 1st to the 3rd.
Dom's very excited to have Labor Day off for once.
Yeah.
She'll actually get to enjoy it. And we'll get to enjoy vast savings by not having to pay people extra money
to build the booth.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Because we built that booth ourselves last year, and that was a monumental task. So
I have pictures. I also have a time lapse of building it on my Insta360.
I love it. I can't wait. So that being said, if you were at the show and you'd like to give us more feedback, we got stopped after every one of our presentations, not just at the Q&A itself, but afterwards talking to people in the agriculture sector about how they're utilizing both orchard and field guidelines for obstacle avoidance. Got some really good information there. That was cool to learn. And then also people asking if different things were in the sim that we already had. Really made me happy. It was so fun to brag
yes.
on what the guys have built.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Do you have wind? Do you have rain? Like we do. We have weather variables.
You have a scenario where you got to look for mushrooms?
We have one where you can look for ducks.
We got one for ducks and one for mushrooms. Let's go.
Yep. It was really cool to be able to educate a new group of people, make a bunch of new friends, and gather information that we're going to be able to directly utilize because of the time and care that this group of folks gave us. So we're excited to give that back in a meaningful and purposeful way.
I'm excited.
I am too. I am as well. But I think I ate up all of our time with that recap.
Almost makes me wish I was a dev.
I know, right? Like, it's easy to brag on them. I have made that comment a couple times at the show. Like, they make our lives so much easier by building such a neat product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll leave it with that. There's no sense in getting into even more of the nitty gritty with it. Just know that there's some big updates coming. We are listening. We are an active participant in your trajectory as a better pilot. If there's ever a time where you see something that you would like to see in the sim, tell us. Let us know. Send us an email. Hit us up here on YouTube. Put it in the comments. On LinkedIn, follow us there. Legacy socials are fine, but if you really want to, get down and dirty, engage with us. I like that. Come find us. Let us know. That's what we're here for. If you'd like to start your work within the sim and with your group, you can find us on our enterprise portal on the website. You can also send us an email to request more information, ask for a demo. We would be happy to set you up.
Or if you're an individual, speak to our wizard.
We do have a wizard. We have a wizard. He's wizened. But yes, you can purchase an individual one as well. Add me to the sim, please. Heath, in a heartbeat. I would add you to the sim so fast. But we can put you, which I don't know that you would wind up lost in search and rescue. I think you'd be out there looking for the lost hiker or the lost camper.
Heath gives, hiker vibes, seasoned hiker vibes.
I agree. As one myself, I can find my own. But we'll leave it with that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Continue to be awesome to one another. Thank you again to Energy Drone Robotics, Julian and that group for bringing us in, SDI for letting us hang out at their booth whenever we needed a quick break from talking to everybody else, going to see our buddies. Air Data, Linebird, you guys are incredible. Anybody I missed, thank you so much. Bo, any other parting thoughts?
No, not really. There's a lot in this one.
It's a lot. lot to digest, but we will be
Yep.
back as soon as we can. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.